You get what you give. What you put into things is what you get out of them. J-Lo. Welcome to the Good Karma Success Coach podcast. My name is Melinda Van Fleet, and I'm a mindset success coach. My husband Ryan and I were laid off from our corporate jobs at the same time 10 years ago in 2009. We ended up moving down to the Florida Keys, and we moved down here. We didn't have any jobs. We didn't know anyone. We hardly had any money, and we'd never even been here. So all along, I've always said that someday when we get our quote-unquote shit together, we will help others. Since then, we've done a lot of self-work and both built successful businesses. My intent with this podcast is to provide you with tactical tips, tools, share our stories and learnings so we can help you be your best self, take action, and move forward. Motivation, inspiration, goals, intentions, all of these words we are all using all of the time now. And I started to think, what's the difference between motivation and inspiration? And how do you explain the difference between goals and intentions? And I really started to think and noodle about this. It's funny, when I started using Instagram more regularly, which wasn't too long ago, it was only in April, so I haven't been on the gram as long as many other people. I started following Jennifer Lopez, and I've always liked her. I've always admired her. I'm not like a celebrity stalker. So it's actually kind of funny. I think she's the first celebrity that I started to follow, and I really don't even follow that many celebrities. Reese Witherspoon I like and admire, and I'm now one of the 50 million people following Jennifer Aniston, which is kind of funny. And I'm doing that because it's honestly just kind of fascinating how she went to millions of followers within like 15 minutes or something crazy like that. But anywho, I follow Jennifer Lopez because to me she is inspiring. I've always been very fascinated and feel that she is inspiring because not only her work ethic, but then she tries different things. She tries all sorts of different things, and she just pushes forward and is always open, it seems, from an outsider. Obviously, I don't know her. She and I didn't have lunch today. But she always just seems like she tries different things. She goes on tour. She does records. She's done several different TV shows. I actually really liked her TV show where she was the cop. That was the last couple years. I don't think she's doing it again. Obviously, her movies are heartwarming, and she has kids. She always just seems like she's up for adventure. The Versace dress that she just modeled again, it was a new version, but it was gorgeous. Just not too long ago, she hit the runway with a Versace dress and broke the internet. But I've always thought she was very inspirational. So again, it really made me start to think about inspiration versus motivation. I've always been a highly motivated person, and I've helped lots of my clients on being motivated because sometimes you just don't feel like doing something. You just don't feel like getting out of bed a little earlier to get your workout in. You don't feel like getting the meditation in. Sometimes you don't feel like hanging out and doing what you need to be doing with your family. Sometimes that you just want to be by yourself. So how do you get through some of your daily challenges as far as motivation, and then what inspires you? And how do those two worlds collide? What does that look like? What are the differences? So I started to really do some research on this as well. And textbook-wise, just to keep it really short and simple, motivation is more of a short-term goal or feeling. It's external. So you might be motivated to get up and go to work because you have to, and it pays the bills. But your inspiration is more of your long-term vision. And it might not be accomplished in a day. It might not be accomplished by, you got up and you were motivated to wash the dishes. Inspiration is a longer term feeling and is more internal. Similar speaking, you can bucket goals and intentions almost in the same way. So a goal might be a shorter term vision, and an intention could be a longer term vision, a little more internal and external again. But people use them interchangeably, just like mantras and affirmations, which I addressed in an earlier podcast episode. Words can, people do interchange words. And I don't think there's like a word police that's going to come knock on your door and get you. But I think it's interesting to note the difference. And when I was doing my research, as I mentioned, I actually came across this really cool article from Inc. magazine. And the author is Marla Tabaka. And the article, I want to say, is from 2016. I'm looking at it on my iPad, but I can't find the date anymore. And she talks about goals and goal setting in terms of that if you don't accomplish your goals, you can sometimes have that feeling like you failed to achieve them. However, if you're setting and living your intentions, that allows you to focus on who you are in the moment and to recognize and live your values and to raise your emotional energy, which in turn raises your physical energy. And her article states that many entrepreneurs are actually excellent at identifying this, and they actually live within setting intentions versus setting goals. And I love that. I actually really resonated with that because, as I look at our goal board, we have a whiteboard on our office wall. We wrote down all these goals for the year, and we wrote them in January, and we've crossed off a couple of them, but honestly, there's some big goals. And so we haven't achieved all of these goals on our whiteboard. And, one can look at this and get depressed, feel like they haven't accomplished anything. Like, what have I been working towards? Should I give up? What should I do? But if you change your mindset and think of it as intentions, and that you're just continuing to work on these things. All of these things take time. And so much of what you do and what you're working towards, you have to change, you have to pivot, you might make mistakes, you might fail, you have to get back up. And no one is an overnight success, even though, on the internet they make it seem like they are, they're truly not. If you listen to J-Lo, circling back to J-Lo, she, did so many other things before she really hit it big. So all of these people, it takes years of practicing, fine-tuning, building habits to get to where they are. So I really love changing the word from goal to intention to just make it sound more realistic, to be really honest. It is more realistic. And the same thing with inspiration. It's actually really more realistic on a long-term basis to be inspired by someone versus worrying about, what motivated you for the moment. Think long-term. So when you're building out your plan, your vision for the future, when you're taking that time to daydream, when you're meditating, when you're doing all those things, just shifting your words to be intention and inspiration versus more short-term words, I think could be very helpful. And those are things that I have personally been working on and wanted to share with you all today. My tip that I'm going to suggest for the day is to take some time and look at who you're following on Instagram, on Facebook. What TV shows do you watch? What do you listen to? What do you read? What external sources are you getting information from? And really see if those are in line with your intentions. Is that inspiration that's coming to you truly inspiring? Is it in line with your intentions? And take like a little bit of an inventory. Let's call it an inventory. Take an inventory to see where you're at, to see who you're following, to see if those people are really going to help you be your best self, up your game, inspire you to keep moving forward and taking action. I had learned in a class that I took, back in the spring. It was with Carly Pinder. And I still remember it to this day. And I always think it's so great if, any class you take, any book you read, if you can remember one golden nugget, then I think that's amazing. And this golden nugget to me was, you're sending a message to the universe of who you want to be and what you want to be like by who you follow, by what you listen to, by what you read, by what you do. So if you're sitting around all day watching stupid television, you're sending this message to the universe that that's pretty much what you want your life to be like. Now, obviously, it's great to take a 1-hour break and watch It's Sunny in Philadelphia. We do that often, not every day, but yes, a couple times a week. I could definitely say that It's Sunny in Philadelphia is on our television in the living room. So I don't want to make it sound like we never watch a goofy TV show, but we do watch that one. But in general, we definitely spend our time more intentionally following people that we can learn from, that we can grow from, that we find inspiring. And this is totally up to you and what you think you can handle. You might not want to make it someone who is so out of reach that your brain, your subconscious brain, doesn't believe that you can achieve the levels that the other person may have. So that kind of goes into mindset work and what your belief system is. And definitely, if you're interested in working with me on that, feel free to connect with me via my email, which is melinda@melindavanfleet.com. You can go on my website, goodkarmasuccesscoach.com, and connect with me there, or on Instagram and LinkedIn, because those are the two platforms I hang out on. Those belief systems are what will help you get to the next level. So my mantra for this week is, I am capable of achieving my dreams. I am capable of achieving my dreams. So if you're like me, I'm always looking to tweak or fine-tune my mindset. I write this down on a piece of paper, and I definitely say it before I go to bed at night, because that way it goes into your subconscious. So finding the time to work on affirmations throughout the day is really important to help change your mindset and rewire your brain. So that's it for this week. I hope you enjoyed my episode. And as always, if you got any value or you feel like you can share this with a friend or family member who would get value from this episode or any of my other episodes, I would truly appreciate that. My intent on doing this podcast is if I can help one person each week, and then that person helps another person, and then that helps another person, just imagine all the good that can happen in this world. So till next time, be grateful, be curious, always be learning, and you know what? Have some fun too. Thanks for listening.